in which kind of devices, and if you use any type of social network.
Okay, so first of all, I have a Google Plus page. I have a page on Facebook. But I made an experiment on Facebook that was sort of funny. I decided that I would say yes to everybody who wanted to be my friend. Well, I wondered, how many people would want to be my friend? Well, it turned out a lot of people wanted to be my friend. So pretty soon I had 5,000 friends. And then I got a note from someone, an email, saying, I tried to be your friend in Facebook, and Facebook sent me a message back saying, Vinton Cerf has too many friends. And I thought that was a personal insult. So it turns out that the woman who is the chief operating officer at Facebook, it happens to be a former Google employee, Cheryl Sandberg. So I sent a note to Cheryl saying I was mortally insulted by the system claiming I had too many friends. How could I possibly have too many friends? So they changed it. So now I have 10,000 friends. Too many friends doesn't work very well. So what I'm finding in the Google Plus environment is that the circles are really helping because you can distinguish among different groups of friends. Some of them are professional colleagues. Some of them are working on projects. Some of them are family friends. And this ability to distinguish among them has really helped a lot. So I use the social networking tools, but I don't tweet. People already hear enough stuff. They don't need to hear me tweeting. And I haven't blogged, although I now been getting some pressure to do that. Then I can see some utility in that. By the way, I don't reject the Twitter stuff out of hand. For certain things, it's incredibly useful, especially if there's an emergency or something and you want to get information out to people in a hurry. I make very heavy use of Google search, no surprise there. And it's not because I work at Google, it's because Google search really works. And it works very well for me. I'm a heavy user of the Google Docs, and partly because I'm often working on joint papers with people. And now that we've got Google Docs and Google Talk and the Hangout and Google Plus, and we're starting to bring all this together, working with a group on a common paper is actually quite effective. You sit here with your headset on, and you see little thumbnail pictures of people. You're typing away on the document, and somebody is saying to you, I don't like the way you said that. Let's change it to read some other way, or maybe somebody else is editing. This collaboration is really powerful. So for me, bringing the social networking tools together with the collaborative tools is really turning out to be a strong way of leveraging the utility of this of the system. So I'm a big user there. I probably don't spend a lot of my time just chatting with people, but I do find that when you have a particular question that you need an answer to quickly, that sometimes just typing a little chat response saying, do you know the answer to X? There's no wasted time. You don't have to say, hello, how are you? How is your family? Did you have a nice weekend? By the way, can you tell me the answer? What you do is you say, how many of these widgets did we make last year? Now, either you'll get an answer back because there's somebody there, or you won't, but you didn't waste any time. And nobody is upset with you for being so blunt, because the medium allows that. So one of the interesting things about this evolving social use or collaborative use of the net is changing social norms, where there's not too much preamble for some of the modes of communication. And it's a little hard to get used to if you normally expect someone to inquire as to how you're feeling and how is the family. And we allow ourselves different social norms. And so what I'm fascinated by is how those are going to evolve as the technology changes. I have no predictions, I have no idea. I think we just have to live through this.
And use PC, a netbook, notebook, a smartphone, tablet,
Devices.
can you?
Okay, so, let's see, what all, I have too many devices.
Yeah.
I have smartphones,
Yeah.
I have...
The iPhone, BlackBerry,
No, I used to have
Nexus,
a BlackBerry.
Google Nexus?
I used to have a BlackBerry. This is a Nexus.
Yes.
It's actually a fairly old Nexus, but it works. And you know, I'm an engineer. If it still works, you should use it. So yes, I use the
Yes.
Nexus. I have Macintosh machines all around the house. I have a couple of iPads. I have a Chromebook. I don't yet have any of the other Android-based notebooks, but I'm looking forward to that. Let's see, do we have any other junk around the house that
Android tablets
I'm
or
sorry,
other Galaxy
I
tablet.
haven't. Don't have tablets, unless, well, if you consider an iPad to be a tablet, that's a tablet. I have sensor networks that are linked into the internet to monitor the house. And that I find very useful because I get reports every twice a day about the status of the house and the wine cellar and things like that. I'm a big user of Google Talk, Skype, and some of the other video interaction. And that turns out to be just plain convenient. You don't have to find a telephone somewhere. And you can move from typing to talking to video just by selecting different options. And I like the idea of being online in a machine which has access to all of my information while I'm having the interaction, so I can share. So that's pretty much where we are. Okay, other questions?
Sí. Bueno, en Estados Unidos y en otros países están en discusión de leyes regulatorias de Internet. Yo quería saber cómo piensa que se podrían aplicar estas leyes y cuál es su opinión al respecto.
Okay. ¿Alguna en particular?
Y está la SOPA en Estados Unidos, la ley CINDE creo que es, en España.
So what's your take
Oiga,
on
otra
SOPA?
vez sopa.
La primera frase.
So what's your take on that?
I like the cartoon, actually. It's pretty funny.
Ojalá.
So, yeah, I don't like SOPA. I don't like IP Protect. I understand why the legislators are trying to put these rules in place. Because the intellectual property community, the movie makers, the music makers, are saying we put a lot of money into creating these works, and pirates are taking them and redistributing them, and we don't get paid. So I understand that. What I think is not acceptable is that the methods that they are proposing to defend against that are directly damaging to the internet, and in particular, the domain name system is now being outfitted with something called DNS, domain name system security extensions, or DNSSEC. This is speak and spell over here. Thank you. So anyway, DNSSEC. The specific proposals would actually torpedo the value of DNSSEC. So the technical community has sent notes letters to the legislators saying, please stop and listen to what the technical community is saying. And some of them, I think, have listened and are saying, we agree, this isn't the right way to go about solving the problem. I made an offer, and I want very much to sit down with the legislators, the intellectual property holders, and the technical community, ask the question, what is it that we are trying to accomplish? What goals do we have in mind? And what technical means have not been considered to try to solve the problem? So I want to have the discussion. There's some element in the proposals that I think might work. A person who is literally stealing intellectual property and then trying to sell it to get money is trying to make a living out of theft. It turns out that if you can prevent them from making the money by denying them access to credit card payments or PayPal or something like that, if you can find a way to inhibit the flow of payment, you may have the most effective way of discouraging people from trying to do this. So that part of the proposals might be worth looking more deeply at. It certainly has worked in the past, where you've tried to deny someone the financial benefit of doing something you don't want them to do. So there's serious work still to be done. There's one other issue for me which makes these rules unattractive. If you think for just a moment about the things that we create, the stories that you write, the books or the movies or the music, it turns out that not everyone producing something wants to be paid for it. Some people produce things just because they want other people to enjoy them or use them or just to know that they found them helpful. So those people would be happy if they could say, I did this and I'm putting it in the public domain. You can use it any way you want. It would be nice if you give me credit for doing that, but I'm not asking you to pay for it. I'm not controlling it. Someone else might say, well, I designed this thing, and if you want to use it in the educational world and academic, it's okay, but if you want to make a business out of what I did, please come back to me and let's negotiate. And then there's the traditional music and movie people who say, you can't have any of this until you pay me. And that's okay too. But what I want is the full spectrum of choice to be available for the producer of this content. There is an idea that's called Creative Commons, which was developed by a man named Larry Lessig. Somebody, if you need to spell, you want to spell Larry Lessig?
Okay, common.
Larry, como el, ¿no? Y Lessig es L-E-S-S-I-K.
Sí. Gracias. So, Creative Commons basically gives you a complete range of choices. So when you produce a work, you can say, this is available to you under this rule in Creative Commons. Maybe it's take it and do what you want. Google kind of does that when we hand out our source code for Android, or we hand out source code for Chrome. We're basically saying, it's yours, it's free, have fun, you can change it if you want to. So I would like to see that included in the rules, because right now everything is being treated like the music and the movie people say, you can't have this unless you pay me for it. And I don't think we should have that as the only choice for intellectual property. So that's a long answer to say there's still a lot of work to be done.